Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan. You can find out more details about us in the description of this video below, including our Facebook page and our online store. So in this video I'm going to be reviewing the Grandline Men Corazon figure released by Banpresto. The first thing I want to say at the beginning of this video is that this figure is actually really rare. I remember when it came out, we sold a lot of them on pre-order, like an abnormally high number. So we were like suspicious and like, what's going on here? Yeah, and I think honestly we had our price way too low because this figure particularly is very collectible. In terms of why that is, I don't really know, but my theory is what I sort of coined this term, the death effect, which is when characters die in a series, fans feel more emotionally attached to them. And so just in general, they become very collectible. A lot of the Ace figures, for example, are very collectible, very rare. And when you think about it, you know, Ace doesn't really have that much airtime in the series. Corazon is, I think, in many ways the same. It's also worth noting that when this figure actually came out, I'll show you the box as I talk, it was actually the first figure of Corazon that had been released. There has now been the Portrait of Pirates release, but aside from that, well, at the time, as I said, this was the only one that was out. If you wanted a Corazon figure, it had to be this one. So he's very rare, and even in a very short period of time, you basically couldn't get him in Japan. So what they actually did was, so the Grandline Men series is always released in lots of 2. So you'll notice this one says volume 22, and it actually has 2 figures, Trafalgar Law and Corazon. And I do actually have the Trafalgar Law on handy. So there's the Trafalgar Law figure. So both of them, as you can see, volume 22. But it was so rare that they then released the Grandline Men volume 23, which had this figure and the sort of younger looking Doflamingo from like the flashback episodes. Not as a child, but just kind of when he was like becoming famous. And so this then received a second release. Now when that happened, the prices did go sort of back to normal and you could get him at a decent price. But again now, unfortunately, he has become very rare and expensive and collectible again, which I guess is a good thing if you own it. It's not a good thing if you're looking to buy it. So I think it came out in 2015. But anyway, that's a long story. What I'm trying to say is this is a rare figure and it does cost quite a lot more than the other Grandline Men figures. So if you see it at a cheap price, then it's a good deal. And it'll also have volume 22 or volume 23. So the packaging looks the same, but that'll have volume 23 and the other one will have the Doflamingo there. But otherwise, I believe they are exactly the same. That's a lot of talking. Let's have a look at the figure. So here is Corazon. And he's pretty much what I would call the normal Grandline Men size. The height of him is about 18 centimeters. If you look at it straight on at the correct angle. So, as I said, kind of normal size. He comes in 3 pieces. You get the base, you get the figure, and then the cape. You can display it without the cape, so that just lifts off. There's no pins, there's no nothing. It just sort of sits on his shoulders, and it's very much like the Doflamingo cape, except it's purple, obviously, rather than the pink. And he's a really weird character, in my opinion, Corazon. But anyway, that's what he looks like. And he does have a cigarette in his fingers. Don't know how that would go overseas, but in Japan, I guess anything goes. You can see obviously the heart pattern around his shirt, all the detailing in the sort of creases in his pants. And I guess it's what you would expect, you know, it's an accurate representation of Corazon. So, but definitely a good figure to add if you're looking for that display of the Dressrosa arc. So I'll just get the cape in now, so you can see that just kind of clips in, or just kind of locks in. It's not going to fall off. It does a very good job of doing that. See, that's why, you know, some people go and buy like fake stuff, and, you know, like the really cheap imitation ones, and it just doesn't work, because you really need the precision and the accuracy and the detail of these. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry there was a lot of talking, but hopefully it was informative. That is the Grandline Man Volume 22/23 Trafalgar Corazon, released by Banpresto in 2015. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.